There we go. Okay, so hi. Officially welcome. It's lovely to see everybody live. Thanks for joining me live. I will be sharing a replay of this. This is Think Differently. Haven't done this before. Well, I have done this before actually a million times, just not exactly in this way, shape, format. So thanks for joining me. If you're new to me, my name is Laura Livingston. I am a business and mindset coach, and what I really love to do, oh, sorry, my screen just moved. Hold on. Okay. I'm a business and a mindset coach, and I'm really passionate about working with people who are really passionate about what they do. And I find that most of my people care about what they do. They care about the impact they're making in the world. But they also really care about how running their business feels personally to them. And they also care about having a life. And most of you probably are similar to me in that you've either left old careers that didn't light you up, or for me, I completely burnt out. You care about having a life, and you want your business to enable and support your life, not build your life around your business. And so that's really what I do. I work all one-on-one with my clients to help people build the next chapter of their businesses. And a lot of times what that is how do we make it healthier? How do we make it more profitable? How do we make it more enjoyable? And so what I think you will find today, and really with anything that I talk about, is I generally come to any topic from the perspective of two different sides of things. One is the business side, this being strategic, making good decisions, running your team and processes, and getting work done in an efficient way so that you can have a life. I'm not down with overworking. And we do have to work. And so finding the nice way to run your business in a way that feels really good to you. And then I also approach it from the perspective of human behavior. I've been a human behavior and psychology nerd since ever. And looking at the mindset, looking at what the stories you're telling yourself, so that when you do go to serve your clients, make a sale, put a free offer out, that you do that from the perspective of a strong mindset, that you're allowing yourself and your business to thrive and to play big and to do all the things that you want to do instead of keeping yourself small or holding things back. And so I'm always going to be coming at business from those two perspectives. You're going to hear me cover today's topic. If you sign up for another one, you're going to always hear me come at things from both a strategic standpoint and a mindset standpoint. Let's see. And then the final piece that I want to share, I think, is just that, especially because, so today's topic is about free offers. How do you do it from a strategic perspective? How do you not burn out? How do you not give it all away for free, right? And so I just want to start by saying, I'd like to keep two kind of general things in mind as we're talking about free offers, in terms of, I guess, like guiding principles that I tend to take to business, but also then to free offers, which is two things. One is we always want to come to our clients from the perspective of giving them excellent service. And this is not a popular opinion, but I believe in over delivering to my clients, and frankly to potential clients. And that doesn't mean over giving. So please don't hear me with, oh, it's okay to have flimsy boundaries and give it all away. That's literally the name of, like, part of the title was don't give it all away for free and friend zone yourself. So please understand the difference. And I could probably do a whole topic on those too, but just know that what we're doing here with free offers or with anything in our business is we want to give our clients the best of what we've got. That doesn't mean that we're sacrificing ourselves in the process. That doesn't mean that we're not taking care of ourselves, right? So it's not over giving. But it can be over delivery, which just means giving them the good stuff. And then to that point, I think the other sort of top, I'm just going to call this a guiding principle, for lack of a better word, is as we have this conversation today, like, we are here to be of service to our clients, as I just said. And that means, even though we're talking about free offers, we're thinking about this strategically from the perspective of taking care of your business. And that's why we're not giving it all away for free, right? That's why we aren't nonprofit organizations. And so I do talk a lot about service and giving to your clients. And so I just want to be really, really clear up front that as we're talking about that, like this is in the perspective of you're a business owner, not a nonprofit volunteer worker. And we're going to give good work and service to our clients or our potential clients in the form of freebies or whatever we're talking about. But that doesn't mean that we are not taking care of ourselves, not having boundaries, and not giving it all away for free. Hope that makes sense. Okay, so I'm going to just quickly check the chat for what you were hoping to get out of this today. So feel free, again, to use the chat anytime to ask questions or share comments. Let me know what's resonating or what's not. And then I'm going to start off with, why would you not use free stuff in your business? Because I do have a lot to share, and I am a big fan of free offers, and that's a big part of what we're going to talk about today. But something I've been saying a lot lately and may become a tagline at some point, I'm not here to help you run a business. I'm helping you to run your business. And so this is about fit. So anything that you're hearing me talk about today, think about it from the perspective of, is this the right thing for me, for my work style, for my clients, for my business? And is it the right thing right now? Because that can sometimes knock something. Oh, this is a really good idea. I'm going to do that in 6 months when I'm finished with this other project, or when I have a better strategic reason to do this. And so we are going to talk about how to just that's what I'm going to try to do today, is talk through some things to help you think it through, right? This is think differently, right? This is about thinking it through for your business. And then if you want some help applying it to your business, I've got a couple of things I'll talk about at the end, which is I have a free session. I'm putting my money where my mouth is. Besides this free talk today, I do have free sessions, and there's boundaries around that. So I'm happy to support you with a free session. And then I have an intensive as well, where it's a 2-week deep dive into your vision or your offers, or frankly, whatever it is that you need help with now. Okay, let me check the chat, and then I'm going to start with, why would you not? Okay, I'm here because I'll come to anything Laura's offering, and I need to shift my thinking around my marketing. So this is the perfect conversation. Thank you. Thank you. Honestly, same. Thank you, friends. Thank you. Okay, excited to learn the best way to leverage free offers. Perfect. You're in the right place. I've been thinking I need a freebie or a lead magnet. Curious to hear what you have to say about it. Great. Okay, perfect. I'm here because I had a free offer that I love doing, but I want to make sure I'm being strategic so it leads to clients. Yes, exactly. Perfect. 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 Okay. Want to hear about best practices that others are utilizing? Cool. We'll get to that. I love learning from Laura. Thank you. I thought the topic was intriguing, and I'm here to see if it sparks any ideas for my business too. Excited to listen and learn. Awesome. I'm here because I always love hearing Laura's take on things. Thank you, guys. And always love learning something new. Interested to learn anything that could help me grow my business. Awesome. Like a plant in a pot. Grow your business like a plant in a pot. Okay, I love it. Okay, great, great, great. So you're all in the right place. That's exactly what we're going to cover. So just a couple of thoughts. Again, I think I'm going to spend more time today talking about how to put free things into place. That's why you're here. But in terms of the fit, a couple of things to think about in places where you might, I don't know, maybe let's say never, but maybe a free offer isn't the best choice for you right now, or maybe it just requires a little bit more consideration before you run off into the free offer planet. So a couple of thoughts here with that. Number one, if you have a product, not a service, right? Like, or if your service, and we're going to talk about the nuances here. So I'm going to use a website as an example, but please don't just run away giving people free websites, right? Like we're not looking at that, right? Like I'm not going to coach somebody for free for 6 months, even though that's my program. But if you have a product, right? Like I'm wearing a product right now of a former client who makes jewelry. I bought it, right? We're not giving our products away for free, and there are ways to do that, and we can talk about that. Specifically, if you have products, let me know in the chat and we'll talk about that. But this isn't about like running away and just running around and just giving all your stuff away for free, right? We're going to do it strategically. If you're overbooked, if you're scaling back, or if you're shifting your business and you're more like in the shift phase of a transition versus in the putting the new thing out of a transition. Probably not the best time because you're just going to be spinning your wheels. And there's a lot of caveats to everything that I just said. So again, none of these are static rules. It's just, hey, I want you to think, if you're any of these things, I really want you to think about it. If you've been burned by free offers before, I hope that today will help you. But if you're still feeling traumatized by a free offer that you put out that didn't work, or that burned you out, or that you did overgive and you didn't have boundaries around, and you everybody just took from you and you overgave, and then you were left with no clients signed out of that and you were sort of exhausted, maybe take a little break, right? Maybe listen to this again in a month. But if you've just put something out and you're dealing with the it didn't workness of it, you might need a minute before you do this again, because I personally believe that mindset is more than half the battle. And you can do the work, and maybe today will help, and all those things. And then finally, if you have boundary issues, if you are an overgiver, if you are serving a bunch of clients for free right now, like if you are really like full-time, like for me, I'm a one-on-one coach, right? So if I had like 3 clients, I'm making this up, 3 clients that are in my 6-month program that aren't paying me, then I'm probably overgiving already on the free stuff. And like me running around doing more free stuff is probably not the best choice for me. I need to maybe go look at why I'm offering too much free stuff for otherwise, right? So if you've overdone that side of things, this is not probably the best choice for you. And maybe today will help you kind of level set and get back to a balance that feels good. Yeah, and so to that point, one of my reasons for doing free offers is it's a really awesome way to practice boundaries. I love using your business to help you practice setting boundaries. And so I'll give you a couple of ways that you might think about that, but that's another. So it's not like, oh, I'm bad at boundaries, therefore I can never do, free sessions or free offers of any sort. I think boundaries are a great thing to practice as you put a free offer together. But if you know that about yourself, then you're going to want to make sure that you spend a lot of time really strategizing around your boundaries so that you don't give it up, because you probably will give it all away, right? Okay, so those are just a few thoughts. Again, none of these are hard and fast rules, but maybe just something to think about if one of those were you. Maybe slow your roll a little bit. Listen to the rest of this. Think quietly before you move forward. Okay. Okay, there we go. You guys can still see me, hear me, everything tech is working. Okay, sweet. All right, so a couple of thoughts. Let's see, let me check my notes here before I continue. I mean, you guys know what freebies are, but I'm just going to throw out a couple of options because I'm not just talking about events like this. I'm not just talking. So I'm talking about events like this. I'm talking about, big master classes, big conversion events, webinars, workshops can be free and can absolutely convert clients. I know a lot of people, I think somebody even had a comment today about a lot of people have like a freebie or a download or like a quiz or something that you can just grab off of somebody's website, sign up, click your email and sign up and get that. So that is also covered in what we're talking about today. Sample sessions like I do. Oh, we've got one more person. Samples, right? My favorite example is bakeries. I personally love chocolate croissants, like love a chocolate croissant. I can't stay away from them. I'm partially allergic to butter and I still will eat them. Yes, yum. And because I love them so much, if I see one at a bakery, I'm honestly like, I don't want to eat a crappy one. It's just not worth it. And so I would love a sample, please. Can you please give me a little sample just to taste so I can decide if I'm going to buy it. And if I'm going to buy it, I'll probably be back every single Friday, right? But I want to taste it, right? So anything in your business like that is always a good way to think about it. So samples, trials, I do some free sessions. They're mini sessions. We can talk about that. Free consults, free audits, anything like that is fair game for today's conversation. So kind of to the point of the taste test, let's start with the chocolate croissant, right? I think that's I like to use, I've been using that metaphor or that example for many years in my business. I actually did work with a woman who owned a bakery, and it like made me really happy. And then it made me really sad because I never could eat her things because we were in different countries. But I think that's a really good example of everybody understands why that would work for a bakery, right? Like, oh, Laura really loves chocolate croissants. Even though I already know I love chocolate croissants, I don't know if I like theirs, right? So, and what if I've never had one, right? How do I know if I want to spend, I don't know, how much does it cost nowadays? Like $5, I think, in San Francisco. Like, okay, it's only $5, but I don't really want to waste the calories, really, right? And so, and I'm not supposed to be eating butter. So then I'm going to have to like, go handle that situation. So help me make a good decision as a buyer, right? And I also like to think about it as like, help me become one of your fans. So if I know that you make amazing chocolate croissants, first of all, you've got a customer for life because I'm addicted. Secondly, next time I hear somebody having a party or needs to take something into work, I'm going to probably be talking about your bakery, right? There's all kinds of ways that, yeah, there is an expense to a bakery creating chocolate croissants that don't get sold, right? That's absolutely an expense. It's really worth it, right? And then they might strategically be deciding, oh, actually, we have these new quiches. So today's samples aren't going to be chocolate croissants. They're going to be quiches because we want you to try our new quiches. And we want that to be something else that you'll buy so that when you think that you've had enough sugar, you'll maybe go the quiche route and get some eggs and protein, right? And that means that you'll keep coming back. You won't just come here on the day you want sugar, that you'll come here on a day you need like some protein and breakfast before you go to a meeting, right? So thinking about it that way, I think helps remove some of the personal mindset ick out of it. Like what's your sample at the bakery? What's your taste test? And thinking about it like that, I think helps us set really clear expectations about what it is and what it isn't. They're not giving me a whole chocolate croissant for free, right? I'm just getting a little taste, like a toothpick, right? Just a little taste. So thinking about it from that perspective of, is it a taste test, a sample? I really love those words because it kind of doesn't matter what it is, right? You guys are sitting here listening to me talk about how I think about business. If you're looking for a business coach one day, this helps you know if I am the right fit for you, right? It doesn't matter if you're looking at if you're going to hire me to help you with a free offer or not, right? It helps you understand how I think about business or just about me. Can you trust me? All the things, right? And so thinking about it as a sample, I'm not sitting down with each of you one-on-one and coaching you for 6 months, right? But I can tell you how I think about free offers, and I can tell you some ways to think about how to match your free offer how to match free offer to your business. And in doing that, I can show you that that's just what I do. So taste test or sample, I think, is a really good way to think about it versus like giving shit away for free, because that doesn't feel good. I don't know, maybe for my overgivers, it feels really good and you kind of want to be a nonprofit, but you're not a nonprofit, you're a for-profit business. But I think the boundary around giving stuff away for free versus giving somebody a taste test, if you can just go back to, how do I just let Laura taste my chocolate croissant and know if she wants to buy it? That's really that's sort of what we're trying to attempt here. Okay, hold on, I'm going to check the comments. Oh, thank you. Okay. I've completed a pro bono project providing my services, which helped me gain project to include on my website and providing me with valuable experience. Yes, exactly. And so maybe I'll just jump to that. Hold on. I love thinking about it as a sample, completely changes the mindset around it. Yeah, exactly. Perfect. Yay. I'm glad. Yes, trying to think of what the best sample would be for me to offer. Okay. Great. Oh, I love that you guys are answering each other's questions. Oh my God, this is so fantastic. Okay, I'm gonna get back to that. Let's see. I'm gonna start with this because Annette brings up a really good point. So I'm going to jump to a little bit out of order of my plan because that's just how we're doing it. What are some good reasons to do it and how might you think about it strategically? Because we do want this to be a strategy, right? We do want this to be a strategy. So what she said is she did a pro bono project, which helped her gain a project to include on her website and provided her with valuable experience, right? So a free offer, this is not the only time to offer a free offer, but a free offer is a really good strategy when either you're new to what the service or product that you're putting out, if it's new to you, or if it's just new to your audience, right? So for example, let's see. If you're, okay, I'm just going to keep using web designer. If you're a web designer and then you decide to offer copywriting services as well, maybe you've always been doing copywriting services. You just didn't talk about it on your website. You just like, maybe you've always been doing all of those, but you just pretty much talk about web design, or you only do it for like some people. And now you want to really highlight the fact that you're doing copywriting, then maybe you want to offer some sort of taste test sample. I don't know what that would look like exactly, but maybe you want to offer some sort of taste test sample to some people for the purposes of getting some testimonials specific to your copywriting skills, right? And that's another thing that you can do is you can ask for a testimonial if you want to. That's not always, I don't think that always necessarily needs to be done, but it's an option. It also gives you really valuable information about, oh my God, like I really love to do copywriting, but once I started doing it for more than 2 people, that was enough. Right. So I'm not going to now I'm going to save myself and I've tested that offer and I actually realized that like, that's actually a little too much. I'm just going to take on 1 or 2 copywriting clients at a time. And so I don't really need to market that. Right. And then my free offer gave me so much information that I'm not going to spend a lot of wasted time to go out and put a whole sales page together for copywriting and start telling people all I do is copywriting, right? Like you can see how much time you're going to save yourself just by winding back and testing something. So that's a really great example of free offers can be a great test for you, for your people, and for your people, especially if it's something new, but it doesn't have to be. And so I want to add to this because this was the other piece I wanted to talk about. Use it for market research, you guys. I cannot tell you how much I get from being able, I've been doing free sessions all year. Now there's boundaries around them, right? You can only have 1. And they're mini sessions. They're 30 minutes instead of a 1-hour session. But I get so much out of what problems do my people have? How is the industry affecting them today versus a year ago, right? What words are they using? So if somebody's coming into me, I have them fill out a questionnaire. I now know what words they're using to describe their problems, right? Which I can put into my marketing. I now know if these problems are the problems that I want to keep talking about, right, in my content so that I keep getting more of the same people with the same problems or not, right? Oh, I had a session the other day and I'm making this up. This isn't true, but like I had a session the other day and I didn't love the problem that this person brought in. So good, I'm not going to talk about that anymore because I don't want to do it, right? The market research is incredibly helpful. I'm refreshing my website at this moment, and I can't tell you how much the free sessions are helping me. I know what my current clients are. I know what their problems are. Like I know them almost so well that like it helps me to get a little bit of a fresh perspective, especially as a one-on-one coach. There's only so many people I can serve at once. And so being able to be of service, first off, of a greater audience, that helps me, but it also helps me to think through, how do I want to talk about my work? and then you're also testing them out, right? If you offer a service like coaching or a big ticket item like a website design, you know that the fit of you and your client is 80% of your ability to help them get results and their ability to love what you're helping them with. So you can test that out. If it's a free session in this example, I get to test that out. It's kind of like a trial run session, as opposed to, hey, let's jump into a 6-month container. That's like, dating somebody and committing, I don't know, to like go on a weekend vacation with them when you just had one date. Like, that's okay if that's how fast you want to go, but not everybody's going to want to do that, right? So it just gives you data to keep progressing that relationship. Okay, I'm going to check the comments here in a second. So a couple things I just want to say. So back to just reiterate, a couple of benefits and or ways to think about this strategically is using it for market research, using it to test a new offer or a new variation on your offer. And by test, I mean for you and for them, right? And then obviously, I think everybody knows this, but I just want to share a few little points here before we get to the question section, which is, this is about expanding your reach, growing your audience, and nurturing your pipeline. That's the strategy, right? Like we know that. But thinking about it from that perspective, again, if you're one of those people who are going to be like, oh God, Laura, I just don't want to do this. I'm just afraid I'm going to give it all away, right? Getting back to what's the strategic purpose that I'm doing this for? Are you expanding your reach, right? Are you promoting this somewhere else so that you can grow your audience? Totally worth it. Very strategic. Are you doing it so that you can nurture your pipeline? Continue to develop relationships with people that are already in your world and just progress them a little bit further along that customer journey. Totally worth it. Always going to be strategic. Never going to be a bad idea. And a lot of times you're doing both, right? People that are here today have been in my world for years, have just come into my world, and this is like the second touch point they've ever had with me, and some of them are completely new to me. So that serves all three purposes for me, right? The other thing I want to say is, I could do a whole talk on this, but with the changes that we've seen in both the coaching industry and the industry of people running businesses online, is that trust, whatever, that whole know, like, and trust thing is trite because it's true, right? Know, like, and trust is still queen. But trust, I think, has become the number one reason why somebody hires someone over someone else. And if you can help build trust right now in this environment, which just is a longer sales cycle, it's not a problem. I actually think that everything is like, what I'm seeing right now in the industry is people are buying and people are selling a lot more now this year than last year. But there is a longer sales cycle, right? Developing trust is really, really, really important, way more important than it was in 2020 and 2021. And so if what you're doing can build trust, right? Like if you just met me and then you come to this and you're like, oh, she's still the same person that I thought she was, then that builds trust. It helps. It's just kind of everything, right? Again, it always has been, but it's just kind of everything right now. So it builds trust. It helps you move people along that customer journey. The data changes all the time, but there are so many micro touch points that we need to have with our audience before they buy. And sometimes that can be a 5-minute sales cycle, and sometimes it's 5 months. Mine is more like 3 to 6, sometimes 6 to 12, right? I have a 6-month offer. It's a high ticket offer. It requires a lot of trust. It's a one-on-one offer, right? Like all of these things, it's going to take, somebody should be very discerning before they hire me, right? And so tracking that progress may take time and may take more touch points. And so the more that I can walk my talk, show up as myself, do my thing, it just helps progress people along that customer journey. There's one thing I wanted to say about that. which is I'm going to be doing a larger masterclass either the last Thursday of August or the first Thursday of September. I haven't decided on the date, so stay tuned. And it's going to be specifically around what is a healthy, profitable, scalable offer? What are the components that go into creating a solid offer? And in that, we're going to be talking about the customer journey a little bit more. So I want to sort of talk about this free offer hopefully fits into your customer journey. So Bridget or whoever it was that was saying, like, you're still trying to decide what to do. Think about, like, what is it that you want them to do or to buy specifically? And how can you make it that sample? How can you make it a taste test? Or how can you give them two or three options to choose from, so that whatever presenting problem they're coming to you for, whatever presenting problem you solve, it's helping them move along that customer journey and take a little bit more. Like, you guys, maybe I'm going to just make this up, but there's probably somebody here who has only ever followed me on social media, has never spoken to me one-on-one, never joined Real Connections, never had a free session. We've never actually, like, real life person interacted, right? And maybe you see me on social media, but now you're here, you're now investing more time in this relationship because you're spending 30 to 45 minutes with me, right? You've progressed along the customer journey. And it sort of doesn't matter if you buy from me right now, like, you're just progressing, right? We're not gonna judge how quick it takes somebody. But that is a progression, right? So thinking about your freebies from that perspective, I have several freebies. I have a community for networking. I have this now. And I used to have a version of this before. And then I have a free mini session, right? All of those things give people a chance to get to know me in different ways before they progress to think about buying from me. Okay, I have like 40,000 other pages of notes, but let me check your questions. Are there any questions? And I know that there's a lot of questions that you guys had submitted. Let's see. Brand experience audit right now. Yeah, I really love that, Megan. I think audits are really great. Audits, or like mini consults even, can be really helpful for something like brand people, web design people. If you've got like a big, even copywriting, like, you could audit somebody's, provide some comments on somebody's copy or their bio. I've seen that copywriters. I've seen a couple copywriters do like a bio audit. Like, I'll look at your LinkedIn bio and I'll tell you what I think. So it could be that simple. If you're a service provider and what you I provide a service as a coach, but like, if you provide an actual like product to someone, that can be really helpful. Give them some sort of sample consult, or these are the 3 things I would have you really look at first. That might be another way to do it. Trust is the topic of the month in my community. Yeah, it's the basis of relationship, personally and professionally, totally. And it's just, like I said, it's always been important. It's the know, like, and trust is so annoying because it's just true because it's oversaid, but it's oversaid because it's true. And trust is everything right now. Giving something away creates trust. I think it has to be truly free with no strings or expectations. Yeah, and that goes to the safety piece. Yes, thank you for saying safety. Damn it, I keep losing my thought. Oh, the safety piece. Okay, this is the two twice I lost it and now I'm coming back. And I already said it, which is, this is also like, this used to be a big deal when I first started my business 7 years ago. It's not really a big deal now, but I think it's coming back, which is, am I really going to buy something from a stranger on the internet? Right. And I think that trust piece, the safety piece, is similar to what I said earlier about, are you really who you say you are? Just the fact that I say, hey, I'm going to be here at 2 o'clock and I'm going to give you this for 45 minutes. I'm going to tell you what I think and I'm going to answer your questions. I'm probably not going to get to everybody's questions. And then I'm gonna, and then, you know, that lets you know that I'm gonna show up, right? Like, it really is like, if I buy this thing and or if I sign up for this free thing and then you email it to me, that builds trust. There's safety there. You are who you say you are. You're not a bot, right? I mean, it's very simple. It's very simple, but it really does matter. Oh, that was the other thing I wanted to say when it comes to a person. So let's say, for example, somebody's really considering hiring you. Something like a free audit or a free session or a free event like this gives them a chance to help them make that decision, right? If we think about sales as being, I always feel like sales calls are about helping the person in front of me to make the right decision. And then it's also about me, not me, interviewing someone to make sure that I can help them. And then if I can help them, that I explain how I can help them. And then I make them a clear offer, just like, you know, an interview at a job. It's we both have to pick each other, right? And so, oh my God, where was I going? You guys, I have lost my train of thought today. And so if a sales call is about helping people make good decisions, right? And helping them to make that decision about even if they're not going to hire you, you want to support them in that decision-making process. And that safety piece is everything. And so giving them something free to start just validates that you are who you say you are. You can be trusted. You can show up for them. And that way, especially if they were already thinking of hiring you anyway, it just helps confirm them. Yeah, okay, now I feel safe in making this buying decision, right? You don't want to buy a car without a test drive. And thank you for saying that to Bridget about capturing someone's information. I do think a lot of times, like, we misjudge the energy exchange of a free thing. If you're capturing someone's email, of course they can unsubscribe. But like, if that supports you in growing your list by one, everybody wins, right? Like, it can be an even exchange, as opposed to you're just giving stuff away for free. There's so much of people buy from people. Yes. More of, can I be in your energy? Do I enjoy your thought process? Absolutely. Do I want to work together? Like, you need to get to know somebody if you're going to work with them, right? You just do. Okay. What do you think about a free Facebook group? Since my niche is solo travel, I've been thinking of creating a community where they can come together and connect and also learn from me as well. I think the tricky thing about Facebook is the safety piece. A group online does not feel like a very safe container for me. Can you do a free group call? Yeah. So I've done both. I've done all of the above. You can do private groups. You can do public groups. I think it's just about what your audience. So Sue, I would have you really think about who your audience is. Yeah, they're solo travelers, but like, are they on Facebook? Are they in Facebook groups? Maybe check out other travel Facebook groups and see, like, if people are engaging, particularly for your age group. Okay. Oh my God. I love that you got, I'm not. Okay. All right. We are, time check here. My screen. Okay. Holy cow. Okay, we've blown through this. I'm going to stay. If anybody wants to stay for a few more minutes, I'm going to share a few more things. But if you need to run, I will hang on to the recording for this. I'm going to do my best to get this shit down to 45 minutes going forward. I do see a lot of questions still in the chat, as well as there were a couple of questions submitted that I haven't had a chance to get to yet. So I will find a way I will either send you a private message with an answer, or I will find a way to get that into another live, and I will ping you and tag you and send you the recording so that you have that. So for anybody who submitted a question in advance, you will get an answer. I'm just going to strategize a little bit about the best way to do that for you. I hope this was helpful. I forced myself to keep this to 45 minutes because I really want everybody to be able to come, get a little something, and move on, and we'll be back again next week. But I would love to know if there are any other lingering questions, I will hang out here for another minute or two. And I do have a few little tips that I want to just quickly throw at you before I close. But if you need to go, go. And thank you for being here. Love the recording to hear the end. Okay, yeah, great. Great, awesome. Awesome, awesome. You're welcome. You're welcome. And come back next week. I will, you'll get an email from me later today with links to sign up again, links to join me on a free session, the recording, all the things. So I'd love to see you then. See you next week, same time, same place. But you do have to sign up. Okay. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, for anybody hanging on, I'm just going to throw out a few more things. So a couple of just tips. We've touched on these, but I just want to drive the point home. So if you're thinking about a free offer and you're thinking about your taste test, a couple of things to just be really, really clear and strategic with so that you are serving your business so that this helps you book clients. Please set clear expectations up front. There was a question that somebody had submitted about how do you make it not feel salesy if you're doing like a free call? And I think expectations and being really clear about the scope of a call, for example, is number one critically important, both for you and for the other person. So for example, if you have a sales call, like a discovery call, be really clear about what that is. I often will, just because a potential client on a sales call will bring to me, you know, like this is what's going on in my business. And I'll sometimes ask them questions that may just already bleed into a little bit of coaching, right? But that's also just how I get to understand what's going on in their business so that I can find out if I can help them and how. And so I am going to kind of give a little bit away for free on my sales call, but I don't really put that in my, like when you sign up for a sales call with me, it just says, we're going to talk about if we want to work together, right? It's like a clear sales call, discovery call. And I've set that expectation up front so that if I do end up coaching them, because it naturally just sort of becomes the conversation, that's just me over delivering, right? Not over giving, but over delivering and just serving them and helping them make a good decision and helping me make a good decision to say, should I make an offer to this person? Am I a good fit for them? But that's different, right, than a free call, which I also have these free mini coaching sessions. And I'm just going to use myself as an example, which is, hey, this isn't a sales call. I'm literally coaching you for 30 minutes. And then there's an optional an optional extra 15 minutes on the end of that call. If somebody wants to talk about working together, we can sort of start that conversation. But I already know, and I set that expectation up front with people on the mini session to say, I'm actually serving you here. We're doing coaching. And if you want to talk about working together, we can use the end of the call to do that. Most of the time, that then means I then ask them to book a discovery call so that we can have a whole conversation just as a sales call to just talk about working together. But can you see how that expectation creates that safety? And it also creates safety for me. So I'm not feeling, I know that I'm going in to do what I'm there to do. And they can trust coming into my world to either receive coaching or to talk about working together, because we're very direct and clear about what we're here to do. Like what's the expectation? And so I think that helps with sales calls. So if you are going to offer something for free, don't offer something for free and mix it with the sales call if you're not completely clear on how that is, so that the person doesn't get bamboozled, right? Well, I was here for a 30-minute session. Why are we talking about working together, right? I already said that up front. And then I asked them, do you want to talk about working together? No. Okay. Thank you so much. I was here to be of service. We can close this out. I would love to work with you in the future if you decide you want to. I'd love to book a discovery call with you. Fine. Right. Fine. Right. I can still say that I like you and I want to work with you. And I can also hear the no, right? No, thanks, I'm not ready. And the other way I like to think about it is, did they raise their hand to be sold to? If they're just here to get the free coaching, I offered the free coaching. So I'm here to offer the free coaching. They took the free coaching. They don't want to progress any further. They didn't raise their hand to be sold to. I can say, hey, you'd be great one day. Anytime you want, you can always book a call, but thank you for your time and goodbye, right? And I've given them what I said I would. Expectations, being really clear about that up front, that serves you too, right? To not overgive, and setting a really clear scope. So in my mini sessions, I always say pick one topic. Pick one topic. We're only going to talk about one thing. And even if that topic, when they start to share it with me on the call, I'll be like, okay, we can't get to all that today, but we could either go down this road today, or we could talk about these things, which feels best for you. And then we'll choose, right? So I'm very clear on scope, because I can obviously not solve everybody's business problems in 30 minutes, right? And I'm not pretending to. So what is the scope, right? If you're doing an audit, right? Like how much are you going to audit? How much time? You might put this in your information and you might just know this for yourself, but like how much time are you going to spend? If you're doing something for someone, how much time are you going to spend on that audit when you send it to them? Or are you going to talk about it? Like, how are you boundarying your time so that you're clear and you're holding your own boundaries with your own self about what you said you would do? And then make them an offer if it's appropriate. If it's not, if they didn't raise their hand to be sold to, we're not going to be salesy and we're not going to make them an offer. We can say like, you're great. If you decide that you are looking for something someday, I'd love to support you. And then that's it. Make them an offer, give them a next step, right? You guys came in here to my free thing, and now I'm giving you a next step in a free mini session or an intensive if you've already had a mini session, right? Give them a next step. And then follow up, treat it like a sales call if they raise their hand to be sold to. So anytime that you would, just like you would normally follow up on a sales call, follow up on a free session. I'm giving you all these examples for free sessions, but you can do that the same thing with an audit, with a conversation, with a service. And then one more thing, somebody also asked a question about free downloads, like how much do you follow up on that? And I would say just have that email automation set up so that you don't have to keep deciding, and B, so that it gets done for you. But especially if you notice that like somebody in your audience has done taken you up on a free download, like you can also do some personal outreach and reach out to them. I can't remember what the question was. I think it was how much. I think like a 2 or 3 times to follow up over the course of a couple of weeks is appropriate. And in that follow-up, don't just ask them if they want to buy stuff, like give them a next step. Hey, if you liked this free thing, I'm also doing this. Give them a next step so that it's a progression versus like, are you going to buy my stuff yet? Are you going to buy my stuff yet? Right. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'm going to just switch the view so I can see you guys better. Okay, I could keep going, but I am going to wrap this up because I know some people probably have calls at the top of the hour and I need to run too. If you have questions, please feel free to when I send you an email later today with the links to the recording and everything, you can just hit reply. It goes straight to my personal inbox. Nobody else can see that. So feel free to send me a message and let me know, like if there's a topic you want me to cover. I'm still putting my topics together for September, or for the end of August. So if there's a topic you want me to cover, if there's a question I didn't answer, if there's a question that you have now after today's conversation that comes into your brain afterwards, I would love to know. Okay. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay. I hope that you will join me next week or in a future one. I'll keep the topics up on the website and I'll see you soon. Bye. Thanks.